Hey, how's it going, Terrell? What's up, Vigilante? Yeah, finally get to work on this thing. It's up in rotation. I want to get it off my floor. I've had this on my floor for like a year now. It's about time to start working on it. Basically, I'm taking the cloth off, re-sculpting it, and then I think we're going to paint him gray. But I figured we could do a live video, seeing what he looks like with the cloth off. I don't know if it's really the most expensive piece. I mean, there's been expensive pieces that I've repaired for people. I just didn't do videos on them. So I repaired, I think, 2 of these in the past. I think the gray one's more expensive, right? I gotta have some kind of music. And everything's copyrighted, so I can only find what I can. But I gotta try to plan this out. It's gotta be attached somewhere, so we can start slicing this up. Basically, I gotta re-sculpt the jeans. He wants to have the shirt sort of come out like this as well, and then paint it. But this didn't come with a box. It's got some defects on it. So the people will probably cringe once they see me cutting this, but it's alright. So this leg was detached, so there's a seam over here. I took pictures already so I could get an idea where the wrinkles are. Yeah, I did that earlier, Terrell. I got a bunch of pictures already set up in the camera. I'm gonna have this next to me though most of the time. I just want to cut it in a way where I might just cut it here and then slide it off this leg there. I think that'll be the best bet. Actually not a fan of cloth really, like on this. I know it's an OG and I know it's a fan favorite, but I'd rather have sculpt. I'd rather have like a cape or a sash or something like that cloth, but when it comes to this, only because you could just, I mean, it's got dust all over this thing already. You could just like click it. Plus it seems like it's getting older and a little bit funky. So we're gonna start cutting. Just cut it down here. So there's a huge seam right here. Kind of curious on how they did that without getting the glue all over the cloth. I don't know. That's the only thing that sucks about these. These things are heavy as hell. Ah, see, it's not even perfectly seamed there underneath there as well, as you can kind of see. It's not really seamed that perfect there. It looks really weird without the pants now. Actually, let's stand them up. And then I'm gonna draw where the pants go. I put that in wrong, didn't I? Yep. Yeah, it looks like a hobbit or something now. All right, grab the marker. So seam came down here. And you got this weird piece that comes over like that. What's up, Marco? Took the cloth off and we're sculpting cloth onto him. And then after that, I'll be painting him gray, I think. I think that's what they wanted. This is going to be the hardest part, sculpting underneath this arm. Yeah, this is heavy as hell. He's so damn bulky, it's going to be a pain to do this. Even though it's just the pants, it's still a pain. I'd say he weighs about probably 20 pounds maybe? About that? Okay. Got a lot of the markings done. He's too heavy, I can't even put him on one of my turntables, they'll snap it. Oh, both legs are seamed actually. Yeah, there's a seam here and there's a seam here. So I should probably start doing the wrinkles first in the crotch area. And then work out the pockets and the seams. So probably do wrinkles in here first, then work out the seams, and then work out all the seams with the pockets and go to the back. So start here, work my way back. Yeah, this is gonna be a tricky one. Alright, I think we gotta mix up some A's and start doing some wrinkles. Gotta get to the A's first. The red is all out. I gotta go get the fresh batch. Be right back. If any of you guys use Aves, you can leave it in the refrigerator. It'll help it make it last longer. So I got this about 2 weeks ago. I just let it sit in the refrigerator so I'm ready to open it. Only downside, it's hard as it's really stiff when it's cold. Hey Philip, hey Raccoon. What's up with Tim? Just working on an OG Hulk. Took the cloth off and we're gonna sculpt pants on him. Not all tonight, but at least get it started. nothing. Good thing about this is when I go to do the ripped shirt, I don't have to worry about so much up top because shirt's gonna cover it. So I get a little bit away with that. Alright, let's go with a decent paintbrush. Now we get to try to do wrinkles. Yeah, Raccoon, we're doing a torn shirt afterwards. The client doesn't want cloth on it. Plus, doesn't have a box. It's kind of got a lot of nicks and scratches. The cloth was kind of old. So, and I think we're painting it gray, but I don't remember that. See what happens when I get to that point. Yeah, we're gonna do a whole repaint after it's done. Like I said, I think he wants it gray, but he wanted sculpted pants. And I think he got a good deal on this because it was defective, no box. So, and I've been getting a lot of requests for OG stuff lately too. Seems like a lot of the OG stuff people want brought back to life. Which is good. Like the OG stuff. Just don't like the cloths. Of course, painting them up's going to be a royal pain. My airbrush booth can't fit them. Have to do it in the garage. I got some of the pictures on my screen of the actual cloth before I tore it, but I think I'm going to kind of do my own little thing on it. Alright, gotta figure a way to prop this guy up. That works a little better. How's it? Can you guys see okay? Yeah, nothing I could do about that. This is gonna have to be built in sections. Figure we'll do a little short stream today, kind of just show what's going on. Get back onto them another day. I knew this thing was going to be a pain. Throw him on the floor for a second. There we go. That should hold out for a little bit. Putting Aves down in mixed fabric, it all depends on the sculpt. If like on him, you have all these muscles, so the wrinkles are going to go around those muscles a lot. So you have to go a little bit thicker and create the wrinkles. If you're just doing like a thin layer, you could roll out the Aves and you could just put on a thin layer on Aves. It's tricky. It kind of depends on which sculpt you're working on, what you're trying to do. I mean, I want to show some of his muscles, but the pants still cover up some of them. So, gotta try to find that middle ground. Because I guess something like this, you put on thick, and you sort of create all those wrinkles around the muscles. But when I'm ready to do the fabric over here, I'll just roll out A's and I'll just put it around thin, and then I kind of work it. So for these areas, you need to create those wrinkles. But for thinner areas, just roll it out. Baby powder. And it should work out. Yeah, nothing's ever really the same. Every project is different. The goal here is to sort of show the muscles, but not really, because the fabric really didn't show the muscles that much. So that's if you want fabric. If you want it to just look like a bone statue where you just see muscles and the outfit's implied, you know, you go that route. Yeah, this is an amazing sculpt. I mean, I'm not a fan of Hulk, but this is definitely the OG Hulk. I repaired so many of them that I never actually got to customize one, which is kind of cool. But I did have a couple people asking to redo their Thor OG, the Captain America OG, and this is the first time with the Hulk one, but it seems like Captain America is the most popular one. I guess a lot of people are having like yellowing and on their whites. Which is gonna happen. I still can't get over these Hulks are so expensive, especially the gray one. That's insane. Makes me wish to go back in time and buy them all up. Well, didn't the gray one unopened box sell for 10 grand on eBay a few months back or last year? And I think the green ones are what, around 35 to 5? Pretty insane. A lot of the OG stuff dropped. I mean, rose. Like, you know, Jessica Rabbits, those go for like $1,500 or more now. These Hulks are up there in price. It's kind of crazy. I guess it's because they're older and they're not really that many made back when I guess they were not doing as many high runs. I guess, I don't know, or they're just iconic statues and everybody just loves the way they look. Guess that's kind of what it is. A lot of the repairs I did on the past Hulks were mostly chips and paint defects. Because you figure, you know, they probably changed hands so many times when people pick them up. You know, you get like scratches on specific areas. Like, you know, you might get scratches around here for people holding it here, on the arms. So a lot of stuff like that is kind of like small repairs, but still, to ship it to me, repair it, ship it back, it gets, you know, it's a lot of moving back and forth. But I mean, he's made so solid, there's not, I don't think he'll break or crack or anything. At least I've never seen. This is back when these things were made out of pure resin. I know a lot of the larger ones now are what? They're getting mixed with, top is PVC and hollow. At least I think that's what I heard. And if anybody's wondering, what I'm doing is I'm using the edge of my paintbrush. I create a line and then I blend it out. And you go to some thinner ones, kind of help them make a little bit deeper. So this leg is being pushed up more, so it's more of a tightness with that and there. With this one, it's kind of just normal wrinkles, I guess. That's kind of what I'm going for. And then after this is cured up, I can work out the seam in the front, and then I can do the pockets up over there. Now the only thing about this is when I go to paint it, I'll have to create a texture with the paint because I can't really create the texture of jeans on this. If I was doing this with like clay or something, that would be different, but age cures too fast. But it's better to do it with paint anyway, with doing it this way. I would love to be able to hold this thing with one hand and turn it, but can't do that. Any of you guys working on anything now, or are you just all at work or something? I've had a lucky few days of nice warm weather, so I was actually in the garage doing a lot of chopping. Yeah, I'm wondering where you're working on that stuff Saturday, huh? I don't know how you guys are allowed to watch stuff at work. Man, when I was working, if I did that, my boss would have went ape shit. Even if I just listened to it. Yeah, I hate working in the cold. So I try to plan a lot of repaints for the winter time. Gotta get an electrician here to put in a 220 line. So I could get a space heater. If you watch on your phone, are you using like the internet access, or are you just burning your minutes? She must have saw you working on a naked green guy and was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Now you guys are lucky. You got one of those large hulks to do? That's crazy. What alien are you working on, Philip? Is it something new or something you picked up at a show? Oh yeah, if you're in IT, then yeah, you get away with anything, I guess. Oh, that's going to be a big item to work on. Well, good luck with it, man. That's, these large things are a pain. Well, glad you learned something from me. Half the time I'm just experimenting and learning from other people as well, so. The movie The Gentleman? I don't think I have. I haven't even watched anything. All I've been watching is some old Reno 911 stuff. I was in the mood for some comedy this past week. Really nothing to watch. Almost lost them. I'll have to put it on my list to check it out. I've been really looking at a lot of Korean and Japanese subtitle movies lately. Actually pretty well done. And I don't mind subtitles, so. Like I just saw the movie The Thieves. I think it was a Korean movie. Pretty good. I just gotta find better stuff to watch. Just the remakes and just the stuff they've been putting out just not been good. So going back to old comedies, I've been watching like Reno 911. I gotta go back and rewatch all the Archer episodes. I want to watch the Venture Brothers again. Love that stuff. I'll have to check those out. I have a habit of just watching YouTube stuff. That's pretty much all I watch. A lot of good channels out there that are really entertaining. Yeah, Philip, the Hulk has a base. I think I'll just be painting it. I don't think we're doing anything to the base. A lot of stuff I do, it's just whatever the clients want to do. It's not always what I want or what I'm adding into it. So, I think it's just adding jeans and then a repaint and that's it. I mean, if they want to add anything to it, they'll let me know later on, but for now... I think a lot of people tend to forget that in the videos that It's not always what I'm doing, it's what the client wants. We all have different tastes, so. Maybe one day someone will contact me to customize the OG Hulk into something really cool. Something different. Try to get down a little bit more here. Shaping up a little bit more. Probably gonna have to sand some of this crotch down. He doesn't deserve it, but I think it's gonna have to happen. Just a red monster now. You guys see the Sideshow video of painting the Harley Quinn head? Man, that was amazing. I actually really like that Sideshow's doing that now. I sub to their channel, so I always check out whenever new videos come up. And I like those painting stuff. Got some major talent over there. Yeah, I saw the Superman head one too. I like those videos. Stuff like that I could watch all the time. Hopefully they keep doing more of those. You can tell they put a lot of effort into some nice, good, high quality camera work too. So you can see what they're doing. Although I wish they talked more about the paints and the type of brands that they mix up, but I guess they got to keep it short and sweet. Hopefully they do a little bit more with, like, you know, how they cast stuff up. Do they do 3D printing? You know. But, I don't know. We'll see. Good stuff, though. I'll have to look into those pinks. Thanks for letting me know. I never heard of those before. No, Philip, I don't have any XM stuff on order. The only XM item I really want is the 1/6 Flash statue on the treadmill. I absolutely love that statue. But it's not in the cards at the moment. I would love to have that one. But that's about all I'm kind of interested in. I actually might be getting somebody to send me a XM to repair for the first time, because XM stuff claims that it's porcelain, and I've never repaired porcelain before, so I don't know if I drill into it, it's going to shatter. So, but the broken piece is to the point where it's either we try and fix it or we just throw it out, so gonna see. So I haven't had a chance to really mess with any XM stuff. I've only seen maybe 3 in person so far, and that's about it. Yeah, it figures they bought them all up. Are you sure that they're not porcelain? Because I on their website it says cold cast porcelain. Or is that just a lot of the earlier XM stuff? Because I know in the past certain porcelain items are an absolute nightmare. That you can't really drill into them or repair. But if that's the case, that's good news. Yeah, the Wonder Woman's nice. But I just want that Flash one. I actually like the XM 1/6 Flash better than the Sideshow 1/4 Flash. I just love the idea of being on the treadmill. Yeah, like I said, cold cast porcelain, any type of porcelain, there's different grades of porcelain. Like if you get that porcelain from like the Disney store stuff, that stuff could either shatter easily or it's so hard it's like a kitchen sink. Back in the day, somebody sent me a Donald Duck porcelain figure. It was like this big. Like, you know, like that big, and they wanted me to turn it into Howard the Duck, and I swear to God, I could throw that thing against the wall. I tried to Dremel it. I couldn't get into that thing for the life of me. It was just insane. And it was porcelain. It wasn't like ceramic. And then I do know there's certain porcelains in the hobby people have done in the past where literally, like if you drill into it, it just starts crackling and shattering. So I don't know. When I get the item, I'll do a video on it. We'll see how things work out. Because if their stuff is sandable and drillable, then maybe I could do customs on them. But people have always been weary about whether or not I can actually do that type of stuff to those. So we'll see. Yeah, send me some pics of the repair. I'm kind of interested. I don't like repairing stuff or taking on stuff I haven't like tested, and then something goes worse. So. Alright, let's get him on the base and see how this is looking. see if we crush this turntable. Probably will. Hardly even turns. Alright, we gotta get it at a good angle. Can't really see it. Messing with the camera at the moment, so bear with me. Let's see if we can get downwards. Yeah, it's getting there. Hey there, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. Sculpted anything interesting lately? Do you sculpt traditional or 3D? So what do you guys think? Shaping up to be looking like jean wrinkles? I think I got the hardest part done. I'll have to do wrinkles across here. A little bit of wrinkles underneath here. Yeah, well, Hulk's packing, so it's got to be a little tight. Sometimes when I do stuff like this, where it's so big, like if I have to continue the wrinkles over here, sometimes I might have to Dremel some of it out and then like reblend it. It's a pain, but that's age. I think I get away with it only because I can build up a little bit. I don't have a lot of time tonight to sit here and sculpt the whole entire thing. Marco, I got pictures that I took of this and I have it on my screen, but I'm also kind of doing my own little take on it as well. Because, like, the wrinkles in here, you could kind of see how they kind of were. A little bit, you know, really wrinkly here, not so much over here. So I kind of just doing my own little take, but I understand that it's kind of really stretchy around there. And I always I look at a lot of anime drawings and anime garage kits or anime PVC statues, and I love how like a lot of those sculptors do wrinkles, so I watch what they do. I like how they kind of sculpt wrinkles, so I kind of follow it. Like if you look up some anime garage kits or PVC statues that are like in the latex, like if they have like black or red latex, how they sculpt the wrinkles are really cool. So I like study a lot of their sculpts, and I kind of try to follow it. You'd be surprised on how many anime PVC statues are really, really well sculpted. And I love looking at their sculpts too for a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm going to add a lot more rips and stuff later on. We're not adding rips in here, we're adding all the rips around here. I mean, I could add rips in here, but we don't want to see all that, so at least the client didn't ask for it. And I really don't think I would want to sculpt that anyway. Get kicked off YouTube. Plus, when you're looking at him, the arm is in the way anyway, so. Well, if you think about it, it is kind of tight because you're getting these wrinkles that are really kind of stretching them. I mean, if you look at the OG Hulk, like, you can kind of see there was a lot of wrinkles there. You know, like, there was a lot there. And there was a lot here, too. So, sort of almost like it, but then what I'll do is, like, when I put, like, here, I can actually cut out some rips, or if I put some, like, A's here, I can add, like, little, wrinkles in each muscle area, so you can see it's like really tight around that muscle. And I can do it here as well. Like even back here, like if I throw a lot of A's here and here, I can add like wrinkles in their areas, so it could like really make it seem like it's tight over the muscle. Because over this muscle will be smooth, but then when you come here, you see wrinkles like in there. One section at a time, I guess. So I guess what I should do is fill up this seam, because if I go to sculpt tomorrow or something, it's going to cause issues. I'm actually really happy to get working on this and get this out of the house. I don't have a big display room, but this was been sitting on my floor in the TV room for a year, and kind of sick of looking at it. One of those items that I never planned on getting, but somebody I worked for a couple projects just gave it to me. So now I can finally get onto it. Damn, that's a really big gap in there. Oh, that sucks about the silly putty. Yeah, it's I guess if you can't get it in your country, it's a pain. I don't know why, it's just silly putty. Like, the only other thing I could think of, Philip, if you know anyone in the US, you can have them order it, they get it shipped to them, and then you ship it to you. But that's going to be like double the price, I guess. You can actually make your own silly putty. I think there's recipes online, but I don't know if it'll be the same thing. So if I'm not mistaken, silly putty was created to make a new type of rubber, or rubber band, and they created silly putty instead by accident. I think that's the story. Well, it's only 5 pounds, but I don't know if like say I got it for you, and then I go to ship it to you. I don't know what your customs would do. You know, would they say, oh, how much does this cost? Was it actually a gift? You know, did they charge you on top of that? You know, I don't know. I know a lot of people have problems with those, you know, custom fees and stuff. That's how to get you. No, I don't think it's considered a chemical. I think it's just like merchandise, you know? Like if they want it coming into their country, they want their cut. I think that's just what it comes down to. Hey, what's up, Kit Builder? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Just working on an OG Hulk. At least prepping them up for a lot more detail later. What I'm doing now is working out the seams, because what I could do tomorrow is kind of like sand it down, so at least it's smooth. Try to sculpt on top of it, I'll run into errors. That's what I love about this cloth stuff. So we'll go up a little higher with the camera. So they'll always hide stuff like this underneath cloth, like defects. So, not that it's a big deal, but whenever you take cloth off, or I do, you always see it. Because they figured, we'll sand this down to here, we'll sand this down to here, but anything around here, just leave it as is. Cool, I got the email. I'll check it out a little bit later. There you go, a nice little booty shot for you guys. Alright, so we'll use the rest of this A's. Now, let me wash my hands because I'm a wreck at the moment. No, Philip, this isn't the biggest. The biggest ones I worked on were probably those Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Venom. Those were like probably another foot taller than this one, I would think. Something like that. Somewhere around there. But this one is one of the heavier ones. This thing is no joke. Like that Kazara just did with the cat, that thing was probably almost the same weight as this with the base. So yeah, that Troy McDivitt one was, but it wasn't that heavy because it was more smooth on resin. This is polystone, so this has that stone powder mixed into it. That's why which makes this a little bit heavier. Yeah, postage, well, the postage on this one won't be bad because I'll be able to meet the guy and pass it off to him. So that's a good thing about this one. But shipping, when I repaired one of these a few years back, it went from Jersey to Washington State. I think it was like something almost like $160 to ship. I forget, something like that. That's the only downside with all these big stuff. When people need to repair it, I've had a lot of people who just says they're not going to bother because the shipping back and forth for a little bit of a repair is insane. But those that live in the tri-state area and stuff that can drop it off are luckier. Yeah, shipping's getting up there because everything's shipped now. You know, you don't really go and pick anything up anymore, so they can start dictating their prices. Yeah, can you imagine that? Packing up a van, going to someone's house, just pulling out a bunch of airbrushes and Aves and have to crash on their couch to work on the next part the next day. Probably would be fun though. Probably wouldn't get any work done doing house calls. Just be sitting there talking about statues and stuff all the time. Well, if I ever start doing house calls, I'll let you know. Yeah, starting to shape up a little bit more. Trying to create like wrinkles going over the muscle areas. No, I never straighten out the lean for Superman. I know it's an issue. The best way to do it probably would be blow dry the legs and put them back. But if you blow dry the legs and you put them back, he'll just lean again. And if you blow dry the legs again and put him back, and you keep doing that, you'll wind up snapping it. Sadly, the best thing for that Superman is take the cape off and try to put on the cloth cape. It's such an overkill weight of a cape on the statue that has just ankles holding all this resin up top. It was bound to lean on people over time. It sucks, but that's just how that's worked out. Hey Zero Affinity, well I guess the reason why I took you here is because we have a happy little green Hulk, so... Some of this will get sanded down. Yeah, Hulk's a little angry he didn't have any pants on there for a while, so getting him back to some clothing. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably put like a rip in here, maybe a little bit of a rip back here with some torn stuff. So I don't want to go down too far. Can you guys see that okay, or is it more like the lights reflecting kind of crazy? So when this was here, it's probably pretty tight. That's alright. Have a little fun with it. Take a step back for a second. How's it going, Iceman Modeler? Just goofing off with some resin. Yeah, I think we're getting there. It creates a little bit of a texture, so this way we've got a little bit of wrinkling going on. So you seal the statue and it became very sticky. What paints were you using and what did you seal with? So you used primer and then you used car sealant spray on the primer, or did you paint it first and then seal it? So you have an item, you primed it, and then that was the problem, or you did something on top of the primer? Just want to make sure I'm getting the correct info, that's all. And what primer did you use, and what sealer did you use? Because there's a lot of primers out there that are just horrible. And they will cause issues. Because you should be able just to prime an item and then paint it and be fine. Like even if you use, like say on this item, you use Duplicolor filler primer and then sand it down, you could just mold and cast up the item off of that. You don't really need to seal anything. I just know some sealers will react to paints. Especially if like it's an acrylic or enamel paint and then you use like lacquers or something else on it, or you get reactions. Yeah, try and stay away from cheap stuff too. You may want to, you know, you're trying to save money, but in this type of stuff, you get what you pay for. So if there's a good primer or a sealant that's $1 or $2 more than the other one, sometimes that's better. Not all the time, but sometimes. Yeah, molding and casting, regular Duplicolor filler primer should be fine. You don't need to seal anything. If you're using like smooth on, was it the Mold Max 30? That doesn't really stick to anything really. As long as you got a nice primer on it and it's smooth out and it's not, you know, you just use mold release if anything. Like I've casted up a couple items where I use my Duplicolor filler primer, and then when I go to cast up the item, you use your sealant. Well, it's not a sealant; it's a mold release, and your item comes out really shiny and slick, but the mold won't stick to it, and that's how you can mold and cast. I've used the Tamiya primer. I don't like it. I know it's so smooth, but I've had problems where stuff doesn't stick to it. It was so smooth. I just like the Duplicolor stuff. I know I say it all the time in my videos and stuff, but it's the best stuff I've ever used. Hopefully they don't get rid of it anytime soon. Alright, I think that might just be about it for now. Yeah, I've tried the Tamiya fine stuff. I've used all their different grades. I'm just not a fan of it. Not really a fan. You know what it is too, is the Duplicolor works so well for me, because I've tried whatchamacallit, I've tried Krylon, Rust-Oleum, cheap no-name brands, airbrush stuff that you can spray out of the airbrush, and like everything I've ever tried would always give me issues except the Duplicolor, so I just stick with it. Plus, it's great for customizing too, I find. Alright, I think that Hulk is done for today, because if I try to do any more, I'll screw it up. Tomorrow I can sand, and I can do more wrinkles and stuff over here. Start doing all the tears and the seams. I think that'll work. Yeah, you probably got a reaction from the Duplicolor to the auto acrylic spray or whatever that is. That's probably why you got a reaction. There's probably a chemical in that auto spray that reacted to the Duplicolor. Like if you spray Duplicolor primer on this item and then you hit it with Tester's Dull Coat out of the spray can, it will react to it. So that's probably what you got. Worst case scenario is there's a reaction between all of it to your resin print, but I don't really think so. You never know though, that's a possibility. So I gotta get this off of here before it crushes this thing. Oh, okay, so you're using that type of silicone. Yeah, I don't know much about that stuff. I just know the Molmax stuff doesn't cause any issues for what I do. So yeah, I guess you're gonna have to look into it more to see what will work, what won't. Yeah, no problem, man. It's the fun about the hobby. I think I'm going to be closing up shop now anyway. That's just kind of what I want to do, a quick stream, but I'll show you guys something I'm working on. So I don't know if you saw my last live stream. I've got this poison ivy chopped up. I really worked out a lot of her abs. Got all the leaves off the body. So she's shaping up pretty well. I'll probably have this video up in like another week of the character I'm making, but it's working out pretty well. It's getting there. But I think that's where I'm going to call it, guys. Short stream tonight. Gotta finish up some other projects and do some editing. But thanks for coming out, and we'll see if maybe I get another stream and work on the Hulk again if I get a chance.